So anyway, so I just woke up recently and I'm really ready to do an audio program for you guys out there. So I'm actually watching Djokovic versus Berrettini, and I'm learning how to actually grow myself differently. I'm learning to help myself to do some audio programs now because I feel that no matter what, I'm looking for a better way of dealing with my life, and I'm looking for better ways of helping myself to grow. So what I want to do actually is help myself to understand something. That I understand straight away how I feel. And how I feel is that I'm learning very quickly about life. And I'm enjoying myself along the way as well. So I'm understanding straight away that what I want to do is understand I believe in myself. I believe in the person I am. And I understand straight away how I see how other people have more belief in other people than me. And I understand that. I see how they'd rather go for another guy than me in life. And I live a bit that way. Actually, it's more because of money, and it's more because of just that. Actually, it's because of money. I mean, every single time I understand straight away that no matter what I do, I'm looking for a greater way of life. I'm looking for greater ways of being with myself. But it's more how I understand straight away I'm chasing a greater road spiritually. And because I'm chasing a greater road spiritually, I'm looking to help myself to dwell upon life much greater, and I'm helping myself to deliver content. So as I deliver content, I'm looking for myself to improve. And that's it, approach. I just want to improve myself. I want to help myself to understand something. It's been quite a while since I've been doing some audio programs, and I want to make sure that no matter what, I understand how life is long. And what I want to do is help myself to see a better road for myself. I feel that no matter what, I'm learning something quick. I'm learning how to actually have a superstar of a day with myself, because I understand that nothing can fulfill me other than I, and I have to live a life. I have to live life, and life is work. You guys have to understand that life is work, and life is do something for nothing. And I'm understanding straight away how I'm learning to do much greater for myself. So I'm understanding that no matter what, that as I grow myself differently, I'm helping myself definitely have much more of a greater life for myself. So I'm learning very quickly about life. So what I want to do is help myself to exceed expectations. I want to have the most I can do in life. I want to have everything much more of a blessing in my life. And I'm actually understanding something. I'm understanding how to grow myself differently and have different ways of saying something and different ways of doing something, so I can go and grow myself differently, and so I can have something nice and beautiful, because I love I so much that I can actually go and grow myself differently. So I'm looking to help myself to explain myself into greatness, and I'm learning how to actually grow myself. So what I want to do is help myself to deliver information. So deliver informational services daily, and make sure that no matter what, I'm looking for a better way of dealing with my life. So every single day I'm learning how to actually grow myself differently. I'm making sure that no matter what, that I'm looking for a better way to improve. But life is just like that. I promise you, if everybody at the top just gets all the women or all the men, then guess what happens? I promise you, it's much more how it's unfair to the people who are lower in the ladder of life. So I'm understanding that there's somebody for somebody, and there's somebody for everything in life, and there's somebody for anyone in life. And even a homeless person can have a woman or a man by their side. I mean, in a sense, so that's how life is. I mean, life is give more time to those people that you love, and that's it. I promise you, it's much more how you have to understand something. That no matter what I'm doing, I'm looking for a better way to improve my life. I'm looking for better ways to deal with my life differently, and I'm helping myself to encourage myself differently. So what I want to do is understand that I have a different legacy, I have different ways to improve, I have different ways to do something, but my life is get up and work every single day. And every single day I'm looking to do something alone. Because my life is alone and I feel so alone. But I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid, but I feel so alone. And life is being alone and learning to live with yourself. And it's just the way it is. First, you guys must understand straight away how to live your life and how to plan forward your life. And so I'm understanding straight away that if the doctor puts me on disability support pension for the rest of my life, I'm understanding straight away I have a great life regardless. I have a great life regardless of the doctor's decision about me, I understand straight away that what I want to do is help myself to move forward. So as I move forward, I'm looking for better ways to improve myself, yeah? And I'm loving life differently. I'm making sure every single day I'm enjoying myself differently. I'm looking to understand straight away that I want to acknowledge myself to do better for myself. So what I want to do is help myself to love my life differently, and I'm understanding straight away how I feel. I feel different. I feel I've done more work than other people in some areas of life, and I'm learning how I'm enjoying myself in the process of everything. So I'm understanding how I'm making history as well up online, and how I'm actually doing a great service as well in other parts of the world, and how nobody can take that away from me. So what I want to do is upload as much content as possible into YouTube as I can, but it's more how I feel. I feel that no matter what I'm learning how to grow my life. I'm learning how to grow my life differently. I'm learning to have different ways of saying something. And I'm learning to evacuate myself to do better. So every single day I'm learning how to give interest. I understand that because I give interest and because I do my life much greater than before, I'm understanding straight away how I feel about life, and I feel very different. And that's how I feel. I feel that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life. So what I want to do is just help myself to grow. I want to help myself to grow and outgrow people. Definitely. So you guys have to understand how to do that for yourself also. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm learning over here to just go and dwell upon my life much greater. I'm learning to help myself to do much more of a greater life for myself. But I'm never jealous of other people. I deserve what I have in my life. And it's more how it is. So I'm understanding straight away that what I want to do is just enjoy myself differently, yeah? See, however, how... See, it's much more how I understand something. I see as I grow myself differently, I'm looking at better ways. See, anyway, so the thing about images... I'm looking to help myself to grow. See what you got. See, anyway, so that's how I feel. I feel much more different. I feel alive. I feel much more of a blessing in my life. I feel like a blessing in my life. I feel that I'm on top of my game. I feel that no matter what, that there's a better life to live and a better way to do things as well. And I'm learning very quickly about life. But I feel that no matter what, that I'm learning very quickly about how to have emphasis in my life. And what kind of emphasis? I feel emphasis that helps me to grow. I'm learning how I have emphasis to help me grow in life. And that's how I feel about I feel about life this way, guys. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm learning very quickly about helping myself to do a greater way of helping myself to grow differently, and it's much more how I feel. I feel much more important. I feel important to the point of recognition to help myself to succeed differently and to help myself to understand something about life, something much more than yesterday. And I'm learning how to quickly abolish and embellish my life to do much greater for myself. So that's how I feel. I feel that I can always see the knowledge. I can see the knowledge anyway. I can see straight away how I feel. I feel it's much more how I'm learning. I'm learning to grow myself, yeah? You guys have to learn to grow yourselves. And you have to learn to do some work today. And if you want to make a living, you have to learn how to do that for yourself. But plenty of people, approximately 7.6 billion people out there in the world who are never like these other rich people. So I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that has my kind of success. But I'm the only one that has my own success, I promise you. I'm just better than yesterday. I'm doing better than yesterday, just like they are. But it's just different. I promise you, we're different. I promise you, it's more how I understand straight away. And since the age of 21, Djokovic has been doing great all his life. He's been doing great. And that's why he succumbs to the superstar that he is. But my life over here, I did start to go downhill in my life for a certain period of time. I was going downhill and I was wasting my life on drugs. And now I really see how my life is moving upwards. I see I'm totally doing a great job for myself now. I'm loving life. I'm loving I. I'm focusing on helping myself to dwell upon helping myself to grow myself differently, yeah? I'm looking for better ways to improve myself. But that's why I'm always focusing on loving my life differently. And I have a better way of planning my life differently, and I'm learning to square off as something much greater. So it's much more how I feel. I feel different, and I feel that no matter what, I need to go and help myself to succeed differently. So I'm understanding straight away how I feel, and it's more how I need to go and grow myself, yeah? See, it's much more how I understand something. As I grow myself differently, I'm looking for better ways to improve my life. And I'm learning. I'm learning how to understand something. I'm learning to understand that I have much more vigor and attention span to provoke a better way for myself. And that's it. I feel that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly how to love my life. And I have much more empathy toward myself for helping myself to grow. But that's why I'm learning that life is the way it is. And life is different. And I have to grow myself differently, and I have to find much more improvement in I have to find a greater deal for my life. I have to find myself doing much more greater throughout life. But make sure you never go for neighbour's wife or husband. I mean, you understand? Straight away. You must understand straight away how to grow yourself. So stick alone and be alone. I mean, you understand? For you, it's much more how you feel. I feel that no matter what, that if you understand something about life, It's much more how I'm understanding something. I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning how to actually grow myself and get myself around a great crowd of people. And I do have a community of people. I do have mentors in my life. I do have mentors. And I do have people I follow. And these mentors help me grow. And they help bring me information. And that's it. I just found myself around better people. And that's how I feel. I feel different. I feel that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly how to support my dream and my success in this life also. But I'm learning very quickly about life and understanding about performing and outperforming myself. I feel that no matter what, the other people made their life successful in the first half of their life. They became very successful and even more successful than me. But then in the first half of my life, I understand straight away that I'm successful too. I understand that no matter what, I'm turning things around. I'm becoming more and more successful now because I'm learning very quickly. So anyway, I'm going to have an atmosphere for my life, and it's much more how I'm looking to help myself, and it's much more like tears are about to fall off my eyes. And why is that? I feel it's much more I'm trying so much. I'm trying so much to help my life. And I'm alone. I'm alone in it. I mean, do you understand? And I feel that I need support. I need more support. I need to support myself more. I never feel sorry for myself. But I am learning. I'm learning how to live this life. I'm understanding that many people have been living this life for 60 years or more. I mean, I can just imagine what's coming ahead to me and what's coming ahead for me in my life. I understand, I'm not complaining, but I'm learning quickly how to just improve myself daily. And I'm pushing for it. I have to be pushing for it even more so now. I love life. I have to be pushing for a greater way of life for myself. I have to go see much more of this life. I understand straight away how I can do a greater job for myself. But it's more how it is. I feel that no matter what, that as I grow and grow myself differently, I'm definitely trying to do a better job for myself. I'm definitely trying to see much more. And I'm learning from it. I'm learning from the peaceful intent to love my life. So no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about my story over here. My story is different, and my story is something new. But I have a nice and beautiful improvement always. I have an improvement in my life. And I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to have the best kind of time with myself. I'm learning to support myself in the best kind of regard. I'm learning very quickly about life, and it's much more how I need to help myself grow. So as I help myself grow, I'm looking for better ways to improve my life. And that's it. I see heroin addicts. I can imagine how they have life. I mean, they have no life, mate. They have no life. They look forward to doing drugs today, and that's it. Unfortunately, they never look forward to having a great legacy. Unfortunately, nothing comes out of them. I can just imagine that life. I can imagine being addicted to ice and heroin. And that's that's the most difficult way to live life. Is to be so heavily addicted to a drug. I mean, yes, and what's worse? I mean, is it cigarettes or ice? Actually, cigarettes are even worse of an addiction than ice. I promise you. Ice is a disease. Ice, in terms of the chemical ice, is a disease. I hope none of you ever touch it. It's more how I feel. And I feel much more different and I feel alive. I have to have a bath, I have to have a shower for myself. And why is that? I feel it's just the way it is. And I'm learning very quickly about life. So I find myself alone. I find myself sleeping more because when I wake up in the morning, I feel that no matter what, that I can see my day ahead, which is just walking around the house all day long. And that's why I sleep so much. I sleep so much because when I wake up in the morning, or when I wake up, I understand I'm going to be alone. And I understand straight away that I'll be walking all day long in the house doing lots of content. And it's much more how I never need to sleep so long. But it's not because of that. It's more because of the way I live life. I sleep so long because of the way I live life. And the way I live life is when I wake up in the morning, I see my schedule. My schedule is to be at home all day long, except just to go to the store for 1 hour to get something to eat. And then I understand it's more about scheduling myself, and it's more about scheduling. That's why I sleep so much. Because of my schedule. I realized because of my schedule. So my schedule is I wake up, I start doing an audio program, and then I walk as much as I can all day long inside of my house alone. And I'm in lockdown alone. And that's why I feel it's much more how I'm learning how to overcome that situation. So how can I overcome long sleep in my life? Actually, it's much more how I need to do something about it. I have to help myself to do life greater. I need to help myself to enjoy life much more. So I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to have quick orientation with myself to live a life that's worth living inside of myself. So every single day I'm learning very quickly about noticing how to dwell and how to develop myself into a better person. I'm learning how to understand straight away how I feel. I feel different. I feel that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about the art and persuasion of life and how different I am in comparison. I'm learning how to enjoy myself differently. I'm learning how to have the best kind of way forward. So every single day I'm learning how to understand to go have a shower. I'm going to have a shower now and I go and relax myself for a bit. So I'm doing my work. I need to go and do music production too. I need to read more. I need to read some music production theory. I apologize. And it's more how I feel. So I'm learning how to develop, yeah? I'm learning how to be my own guru throughout life. I'm helping myself to grow. And this time in the shower, I just want to relax. I want to help myself to develop. I feel there's plenty of women out there who never want to go for me. And it's because of my money. And it's because of my success. And I feel they want more out of me. But I feel that no matter what, that without my mum in this life, I can make a life for myself. I can make a life for myself regardless. And for me, it gets to a point where it's always about legacy for me. And I'm understanding how I can leave a great legacy for myself and just whimmer off along into my life in a great campaign and learn how to enjoy. I can learn how to enjoy my life differently, and I'm learning how to help myself to succeed differently, yeah? So what I want to do is learn to persuade myself to love life. So I just want to be alone for a bit so I do better. I see. So anyway, so since I just had a shower, I'm looking to help myself to grow, myself personally. I'm looking to find a better way to deal with my life right now. I'm looking to understand straight away that I'm alone. And now, how can I make my life better? I ask Jesus Christ, how can I make my life better from this point? And to give me some clues. I see Jesus Christ says, keep going and enjoy yourself, and just make sure that you're learning and growing, and make sure you use your word I, and come back to the word I and know who you are, and just enjoy life and try to enjoy life. I mean, that's it. Jesus Christ says that for me. I understand straight away. I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning how to understand something. I'm doing a greater job for myself, at least. I'm learning how to actually help myself to grow, myself personally. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm learning very quickly about life, and I'm helping myself to deliver content. So that's how I feel. I feel different, and because I feel different, I feel much more alive. I feel much more able to dwell upon life much greater, and I help myself to grow myself personally daily. I'm helping myself to do much greater. I'm helping myself to just deliver content, guys. I promise you now, all I want to do today is help myself to explain much more around life. And because I'm doing a greater way of life, for myself at least, I'm understanding straight away how I need to go and grow myself. But life is do something and be doing something always, and make sure that you're learning from the outcomes. I mean, make sure you're learning from something that you're doing. I mean, every single time you must understand straight away how to grow, and you must understand how to be someone who recognizes yourself as somebody. I promise you, just be constantly contributing to yourself in a greater deal and way. But never have nothing to do. I mean, always have something to do. I mean, look for something to do. I mean, you understand? That's it. That's the only way forward. Is look for something to do right now that you can do on your own. And that's it. You must understand straight away that other people are never going to be there for your business. They're never going to be there for you. You understand that? They're never going to be there for you. You have to understand that. Nobody is here for me except I. I'm the only one here. I'm the only one here always. Even with people around me. I'm the only one. I'm the only one who really truly cares about me. I mean, you understand? Because I'm the one who enables myself to look at life differently, and I help myself to find a greater deal with myself, and that's how I feel. And I'm just walking around here, I'm just walking around the house, but you have to understand straight away how I feel. I feel that no matter what, that my life is just improving. I'm improving my life, but my life is different. See, my life is different for goodness sakes, for God's sakes. I see, for God's sakes, my God, is good. I see. Anyway, I'm learning how to develop. And if you're learning how to develop yourself, then you're looking at what you can do to succeed differently, and you're looking at different imaginational systems, and you're looking at watching whatever you can to succeed, and you're helping yourself to deliver content. So you're just watching whatever it is that helps you grow. But never worry about your life. Never worry. I find myself worrying about my life. I'm never worrying anymore. I'm just learning. I'm learning something different along the lines. And I'm helping myself to deliver content. I'm helping myself to find a greater way of helping myself to move forward. And that's it. I'm learning how to program myself to enjoy myself differently, and because I help myself to develop life and to understand something about my life, I'm learning how to find myself doing greater. I never watch TV. I watch YouTube. See, YouTube is the new TV that I watch. And I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning how to understand something about life differently, and since I'm understanding straight away how to grow myself differently, I'm definitely here to love my life. I'm here to help myself to grow differently, yeah? I promise you anyway. I focus on helping myself to deliver content in the best kind of way, moving forward. And I'm learning how to actually grow myself in the best kind of way forward, so I can live my life to the best of my ability. And that's how I feel. I feel alone. And life has hit me alone. Life has given me so much silence. But what can I do with this silence? I can do whatever I want. I have all the time in the world for myself now. I have no friends. I find myself around better people. I love my life, and I do have friends in my word I. I do have friends in my word I, my family. Well, I realise although every single one of my family members is all alone. Pretty much everybody's alone. And that's how it is. I promise you now, you must understand straight away how I feel to grow myself differently. So I'm learning how to penetrate my life moving forward. So I'm actually understanding something that no matter what I'm doing, I'm learning how to actually love my life. So every single day I'm learning how to actually become much more free. So make sure you understand straight away that you have to be growing yourself if you're watching TV. And you have to be growing yourself regardless of the situation. So learn to understand something. Now I can listen to Armin van Buuren's music album from 2008, and I can go and talk to you guys while doing so, because he has a beautiful album from 2008. I love it, and it's not sure how I feel. I feel different anyway. I feel that no matter what, that as I grow myself differently, I'm enjoying myself. I have Spotify Premium, and I give some money for that, but it's not sure how I feel. I just go Armin van Buuren, and I go to his beautiful 2008 album, which is Imagine, and it's the nice and beautiful remixes over here, which is with his nice and beautiful music. And I can just learn something from his music. I'm learning how to develop, but as I develop, I'm looking at different ways of improving myself, yeah. I'm showcasing myself to have a great life for myself, so I'm learning how to grow. And since I learned how to grow, I'm learning how to actually love life. I see it's not how I need to just keep going for that sake of time where I can go and grow myself differently, and I feel that no matter what, that it's much more how it is. And I feel that as I was traveling before, I'm understanding that I'm still alone in what I'm doing, and times have changed. Apparently it's all different times now. So what I'm doing now is come back to the word I to be positive, and that way I'm keeping myself alive. Because otherwise, if I go negative, then I may kill myself. But I never kill myself because I never go negative. So be careful. I see anyway, so it's much more how I feel. And I'm never going to kill myself. So just relax, guys. And learn to find a better situation for your life. I see it's much more how I need to help myself to grow myself. And I feel my life growing. I'm growing differently, so I see it's much more how I need to help myself to do a greater way of life. So I know this anyway, how I can make techno music happen, so I see it's much more how I need to understand something. And you need to have a career path, and you need to focus on a career. And you have to drive yourself into a career. And it's much more how you have to promote yourself. But the more you promote yourself, the better. And then you have to have a YouTube account as well. And you have to be doing something to help your life. I'm learning how to do that. I'll see anyway. I'm learning how, if you never have a career path, if you're never doing something to help your life to succeed moving forward, then how do you expect to have a career for yourself? I mean, in a sense, so I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning how to develop myself, so I'm learning how to just help myself to do a greater way of life. I'm helping myself to understand something that I'm learning very quickly about life. And I'm moving forward, so I'm understanding the melodies, and the melody over here, I'm understanding that it's just the way it is. And I'm learning very quickly about life, so what I need to be doing is more music production. And I feel myself doing more music production as I go along. And I'm learning very quickly I need to do much more. But I just want to listen to Armin van Buuren's music album now. And I'm learning how to succeed differently. I'm more of a life coach than anything now. And I'm learning how to understand something that if I stick to it, I promise you, if I stick for the next 20 years, I can make a lifestyle in my name. And I can become popular in the next 20 years. I promise you, it's much more how I feel. And I'm learning how there's plenty of time, I love life. There's plenty of time for me to have a better way of life, but I feel that no matter what, I need to be more interesting. And I need to be much more interesting than ever before, so that's much more how I feel, that I need to show people more success. I need to show myself more results. So what I do, I show myself more results somehow. And that means with physical aspects and spiritual aspects. But the physical aspect is going to wear off. And what's left is what you said in words and the music you gave. I promise you now, I promise you it's more how I feel. So it's more how I need to grow myself differently, and I'm learning how different I am. I'm very different, so every single day I'm learning how to love my life, learning how to have a better way of being. Anyway, I'm learning how to grow myself differently, yeah? And I'm learning how to enjoy myself. See, life is going to press you, but I can make up for it. And I can make up for the life that I lost earlier by speaking more words in the next half of my years. And I understand straight away the next years of my life that I can make up for everything I've ever lost in my life, I promise you. But I need to speak more words, and I understand that. And I'm learning how to actually slowly get there. And I'm learning very quickly about life. So my life has a spotlight where I'm actually learning how to grow myself. So I'm learning how to actually go for it. I'm learning to actually help myself to nicely and beautifully be able to go and grow myself in the best kind of way forward. So I'm helping myself to enjoy. And you have to understand that music is done differently, so you have to make music in a different way always. And focus on helping yourself to find your groove and finding your great way of life. And I love it. I see it's much more how I have inspiration with Armin Burns' music over here, and it makes me feel warm, his music from the 2008 album. And I feel that I'm making that acknowledgement over here. And I make that acknowledgement. I think it's much more how I feel. Now I'm learning very quickly that it's much more how I'm doing great. I'm doing great for myself. So it's this track over here, Imagine. I say it's this track, Imagine, from his Imagine album. Of Armin Burns' Imagine album with the track Imagine. I love it. I see it's much more how I need to grow myself. I'm learning how to grow myself differently. I'm helping myself to see something in me over here. I recently I do start to become better than yesterday. I'm always better than yesterday now. And I'm actually better than yesterday, but what's changed about me, I mean, it's just my habits. I realize my habits are better than yesterday. I say my habits are so much better than yesterday, and I'm doing so much better as a human. And that's why I'm always pivoting my life much greater. And that's what I'm actually improving upon. I'm improving upon my habits. And I find myself with so much time now. And now what I can have time for over here is myself only in Australia. And a little bit that way. I see now if the doctor gives me a disability support pension, then I realise that I'm going to go and file for myself to have a disability support pension with my mum as well. And that way I'm free from 9 to 5 work and I never have to work on 9 to 5 jobs. And that's excellent for me, personally. And for example, for myself, I have to go and work a 9 to 5 job anyway. I have to go and really understand something that I never have to work a 9 to 5 job. But if I want more kids, I need to work a 9 to 5 job. Which that's the thing. So I'm learning how that is. So, and I'm learning how to just learn how to do a greater job for myself. So I'm learning how to actually help myself to do a greater job for myself. So I need to love life. I love life. I see it's much more how I need to enjoy myself. So I'm learning how to do a greater job. I'm learning how to actually help myself to understand something about life. So I'm understanding that as I grow myself, I'm looking for better ways of dealing with my life. And I'm always different. But if people watch my life, I promise you, it's like a mouse jumping around in its house and stuck in one house. I see, but I'm learning. I'm enjoying myself anyway. See, it's much more how I need to help myself. So I'm doing much more better. I'm learning how to enjoy myself. I see it's much more how I see how I need to grow myself. So I see how my brain uses an instrumental track as is 2008 album. And I see why, because other ones have vocals in it. And it's much more how he makes it much better, and that's it. So he makes his music much better with the instrumental there, because the instrumental works for the album cover, because otherwise it's another track with another person with him. So let's just say you're Armin Brand and you make vocal tracks with people and you have an instrumental track that's just you. I'm not sure what do you want to make as a cover album. I'm not sure, of course you want to make a cover album just you. So you use the instrumental track that you made. I'm sure that's his track, Imagine by Imagine Album. So it's just an instrumental track, so I'm learning very quickly. I'm doing great now. And I'm learning how to actually understand that the medicine never affects me, but I'm learning how I'm different. I'm different because what's going to happen is if the doctor puts me on medication for life, then guess what happens? For sure, I may have a belly for the rest of my life. But you must understand, that's a thing. So what I can do is a little bit that way. I understand straight away I'm healthy anyway. I'm healthy. I'm just eating vegan food anyway. So it's just the actual medicine that makes me eat a bit more of the vegan fat. So I can go on a vegan diet over here. And I can remove peanut butter and also hummus from my life. And also the potato. I can learn to eat all this other stuff. So it's much more how I feel that I need to start doing that as well. I need to do that for myself. And I'm learning how to help myself understand that I need to start now so I can do a great job. I just eat this type of hummus. I eat the type of hummus and I'm not saying that the actual way of life is moving forward for myself. And I'm actually understanding something that I'm learning quickly about life. And I'm learning how to just stay away from hot potato chips and any potato chips and any kind of potato. And I'm learning to eat more canned food. It's more of a strict diet for myself and it's more to lose extra body fat. And I learn how to do that for myself, and it's really easy to do that. So I just remove it from my diet all up. I learn to eat chickpeas from a can. I learn to eat canned food with bread. I can understand how to do that. And I learn to understand Ivar as well. I let go of Ivar. I understand straight away. It's much more how I feel. The Ivar over here is something different, but it's more how I feel. And the Ivar is something I need to check out because it's more how I understand something. See, it says it has low fat. I see low fat in Ivar. So I can eat some Ivar then. A little bit that way. I can eat some Ivar. I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm enjoying myself, so I'm not saying that Armin Burns' 2008 album never matches today's music patterns. And why is that? I understand it's because it's more. See, it's more techno tracks. See, it's more techno tracks that he's making in 2008. And I see how. And it's much more how I feel anyway. No matter what, I'm learning very quickly about how music is evolving and music evolves over time. And I'm learning very quickly about making better 3-minute music and make sure I can make all these 3-minute music tracks and I can learn something from it. And I'm learning how to understand something that I have to get into it. And it's much more how I feel. I have to learn how to help myself anyway. So I'm understanding straight away that I'm learning very quickly about life and how to produce music. Just like you have to produce life coaching videos and stuff like that. And then you can revisit your music and your content if you want to. But it's much more how you also have to remove yourself in terms of, never remove yourself, but you have to remove anything that never helps you grow. So what I want to do is help myself to remove peanut butter from my diet. I want to remove peanut butter from my diet now. After this peanut butter and after this tub of hummus, I want to remove hummus from my diet too. And I want to remove it totally. And it's more because I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to become a better fit for my body. And it's much more how I feel. And I go on a diet. I'm going on a diet really quickly and I'm learning how to help myself to understand. I never eat sauces anymore. I never eat sauces and I never eat any kind of potato out there. But I do eat bolognese sauce. I can let bolognese sauce be and I can let iMac be. And I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning how it's much more how it's all different. I see the difference between Arnold Burns' music now and before is his music now is much more of a composition with melodies. And I can see that straight away. I see anyway, I'm learning how to grow myself, so I'm learning how to understand that he's promoting himself, of course, and you have to promote yourself. And now I want to see how business is. I see it's much more, you have to get good at something. So I'm good at life coaching, so for myself it's more how I need to go around places teaching much more life coaching. I can do that now, but I do it for free, so it's much more how I need to understand that no matter what, I do that with basking performances. I'm doing that now, so I'm happy with that. I see it's much more how I feel, and I need to understand how I love my life. I see it's much more how I feel. You have to reach out to people to make a business worthwhile. So it's much more how I just gained status for that, but I never even gained money for it. So I gained status. And it's a big jump approach. Now I can do it. But some people can be popular. I mean, some people can actually go for people and go promote themselves with all the money they have, and they can jump into the business of their life and promote themselves. And other people surround themselves in a community and much more in a community-based church or group, and find themselves around communities and volunteering for free to find and meet new people. And it's much more how it is. I can always go and enter a new community of people So for me, it's much more about understanding about this time of day that I'm living much better. I'm learning how I'm doing much better anyway. I'm learning how I never lost friends. I have friends. I have friends, but I just chose a new crowd. I chose a new set of friends. I chose to go alone, and here I am alone now. I can never complain. I get what I deserve. But now I'm learning anything. I'm learning something now. I'm learning anything I can to succeed. And that's how I'm learning very quickly about life. And I can listen to music while talking to you guys. It's much more how I feel. I woke up in the morning while this rubbish man was picking up the rubbish with the truck. And it's so cold in the morning, and he goes and wakes up in the morning around 4 o'clock. And he has to drive a truck in the mornings at 6 o'clock in the morning when it's all cold and stuff like that. I mean, wow, true courage, man. For me to do that, I understand I'll never do that in my life. I promise you, it's more how I feel. I understand it's much more how I understand that the guy has to do rubbish trucks early in the morning and it's so cold and I'm just inside of the bed sleeping. And I say it's much more how different it is. I understand that no matter what, I have something to do. And I look at these people who have all these 9-to-5 jobs and stuff like that. And they have 9-to-5 jobs and they go and study psychology and they go and get themselves into debt to study and to get a job in terms of psychology. And then they work on their own and they work as a self-employed business of self-employment, and they're a small business as well. And there's so much competition for people in the audience and stuff like that. Or they work with the government and the government sends them to new people as a psychologist and stuff like that. But usually psychologists, what they do is they have their own business card and they open up their own firm about psychology, and they go to one place every time and they sit at one place and they collect handouts from other people who want to see the psychologist. And they make money, I promise you. Psychologists make money. But the thing is, they never make enough. They never make enough money. They're saying because they're always working a 9-to-5 job. I don't know. But they never have enough of the money that they make because they need more and more of it to live a life. And you need more money anyway, but the thing is that psychologists need to find a way to make money with assets where they never need to work as a psychologist anymore. But yes, they do. They do have to work as a psychologist, but never in a 9-to-5 job. But they're working on as a psychologist like I am right now and making a bigger business and going around the world teaching people for free. And that's what they're doing for money. They're doing it for money over there. And opening up a firm to do it for money, yeah? And I can do that now. I never need a university degree to call myself a psychologist. I can say I'm a psychologist and open up my own firm and rent out a spot somewhere and work 9-to-5. And I can understand how to succeed. And it's much more how it is. And I'm learning very quickly about life. It's much more how I feel. Then you're totally alone. And people are totally alone in what they're doing. In a sense, so everybody's alone in life. So you must understand how to use melodies to attract people into a different type of scenario. But if there's too much going on in the music track, then you must understand you have to go and grow yourself differently, yeah? And it's much more how it is. So grow yourself differently is how you learn. See, it's much more how you have to be creative. You have to understand straight away how you need to help yourself to deliver content. So it's much more how I feel. And how I feel is very different. So it's much more how I need to grow and help myself grow. So as you grow yourself, you're looking for different opinions and different ways of doing something, and I'll say it's more how it is. So it's not sure how you guys need to grow yourself differently, yeah. And I feel for you guys out there who understand something about life, and you have to understand something about life anyway. But the thing is about life, that you have to grow yourself differently. So for myself over here, I'm learning how to just talk it out. And as I talk it out, I'm learning to teach you guys exactly what is on my mind, so I can go and help myself as well. So what are some action steps I can do in terms of the next 10 action steps I can do to help my life increase its potential? I can do more music. I can make sure to speak more words. I can read more. I can make sure to go on a diet. I can make sure that I can do something to help much more in the area and stuff like that. I can make sure that no matter what, I'm learning much more ideas in the process and making sure that I'm reading much more. So I'm saying those are my action steps right now, and those are 5 action steps. I'm making sure I can also look better as a human. I can make sure to increase my health. I can make sure I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning how to help myself to deliver content. And I'm learning how to penetrate much more into my life over here. So it's much more how I need to grow and grow. So no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life. So no matter what, I'm learning how to go on a diet to help myself to understand something, that peanut butter and hummus have a high fat tolerance. So just drop them all out, and that way you lose fat and you'll lose some weight along the way, and you look much better as well. So it's much more how I feel. I feel the physical aspects of life I can drown out. I can drown out the physical aspects because I realize it's much more how I feel. I feel that no matter what, it's much more how over time, how people never care about how good you look. I see it's much more of a self-development kind of thing. And it's much more how you have to understand that people care. I mean, people do care. And they do want you to look sexier. Actually, it's much more how I feel. And a little bit that way. I feel that no matter what, that for me it's more about understanding that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning how other people get what they deserve, and that's it. I'm learning how I can just move on from that, and I can move on from having sex with other people and stuff like that. I never need to have sex with other people. I see it's much more how I need to help myself grow, so that's how I feel.